Back at it, uSportsCentral, Adam Deal, Charles Ashley. 3 and out now, and it's time to get you updated. We'll do 5A and 6A here, Charles. Look, all of the matchups, softball, single elimination, so there were some upsets. We're going to go over that in baseball. All the best of threes, there's some really good ones out there and some upsets. So let's start it all off then with the 5A softball bracket and get you caught up with what those quarterfinals will look like. Remember now, this will be a double elimination as Centennial wins, and they'll take on Artesia. And you see Valencia is going to take on Pedro Vista. You shocked Pedro Vista winning. And Roswell is going to play Farmington if you go to the bottom of the bracket. And Bernalillo going to take on Aztec. That is your quarterfinal matchup.
Aztec beat the brakes off of Belen. It was 15-0. That's not even nice.
Richard Tripp had mentioned our good friend and he does some hosting and play-by-play for ProView Networks, and mentioned Bernalillo. They've got something going, so it's good to see them. We'll see that matchup against Aztec, but kind of what we expected, right?
Yeah, no real shockers as far as 5A, but the favorites are looking strong. All the favorites won by a lot, so it wasn't even close. And I don't know. I like Bernalillo, but I don't think they're gonna have a chance against Aztec.
Pedro Vista.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that too.
That's all we have to say. Hop on that bandwagon. All right, let's move on over then, and we'll talk a little 6A softball for you. Volcano Vista has no problems in the first round.
11-0 over Santa Fe.
So I mean, obviously the one we need to talk about is Cibola beats Cleveland 10-7. The final score in that quarterfinal. What stuck out with you, Charles? How
Cleveland couldn't get anything going pitching-wise. You know, I expected Cleveland to score runs, but Cibola coming out and putting up 10 runs against a very strong Cleveland team, that's impressive to me. Alamogordo is what stood out to me. They had no problem with West Mason. They have a great pitcher down there.
By the way, at Carlsbad. So Carlsbad had a real bad weekend.
Look, that's another district game too. So you know they didn't want to see each other.
So Alamogordo's into the next round. So you're going to see Alamogordo take on Cibola. I obviously think favors Alamogordo. I mean, Cibola is fresh off their upset, but still. Now remember, this is double elimination. Okay, so it's a double elimination tournament, different than, let's go to the bottom of the bracket. Oñate, no problems with your Albuquerque High Bulldogs. Rio Rancho takes care of Sandia. So that's an interesting quarterfinal matchup. La Cueva, no problems with the Trisco.
No, they struggle with Trisco.
But they're into the next round.
But I like La Cueva still to go.
And Las Cruces beats Valley, so that's an interesting matchup also, La Cueva and Las Cruces, and then, of course, Oñate, Rio Rancho. So my Rams still slinging through.
That Cruces and La Cueva game is going to be really good, I think, and the double elimination helps, but I'm still sticking with my guns. I'm going La Cueva, Lady Bears, don't let me down. Don't let yourselves down. Going to pull this out against Cruces. But the South came to play. Oñate looked impressive. Cruces looked impressive. Even Carlsbad. So the South really representing for the state tournament. The North got their hands full.
They normally do.
Yeah.
Let's move on to 5A baseball now and get you caught up in that bracket. Pedro Vista, do they lose? I don't think they do. They never lose any year.
Any year? They never lose.
No, they don't lose.
The big time stuff that they beat Centennial. Centennial had a tough time, but they found a way to beat Pius. Like, I thought Pius had a good bracket, and they ended up losing to Tennessee to Centennial. I think that was really the only upset. Pedro Vista, no trouble, 3-0, 6-1 over Roswell. Espanola, they get to the second round. Goddard, no problem with Bernalillo. Los Alamos, they got past Aztec. And Valencia beat Los Lunas, and Academy cruised past Belen. So things looking pretty much according to what we predicted with this bracket, but except for Centennial beating Pius.
Interesting matchup. Well, I think Valencia and Albuquerque Academy is going to be an interesting matchup. Centennial Pius having a bad year in the first round in state playoffs in all sports, aren't they?
Yeah.
As remember in basketball, they had lost in the first round against Artesia, so just all interesting. But I think Pedro Vista has no problems in the next round against Artesia, and I don't think I think Albuquerque Academy is going to beat Valencia. Let's go to the bottom half of the bracket as Goddard takes care of Bernalillo, and you mentioned Centennial over Pius. Not the biggest upset, though, Centennial and Pius.
No, Centennial's been strong in all sports. Centennial had a pretty good season, so not too big of an upset. If you're Pius, is a big upset because, as you mentioned, had a rough year athletic-wise.
How about Espanola Valley
getting it done against
Yeah,
Farmington,
right. So
man.
Espanola Valley is moving on to the quarterfinals in baseball, and they'll take on Los Alamos. So all good stuff.
Espa. Did you pick Farmington? You didn't pick Farmington.
Nah, I don't remember even picking that one. All right, let's be honest. I don't remember that one.
Well, let's go to the one you remember.
Okay, well, let's go to 6A boys then, and let's talk about these quarterfinal matchups that are coming your way. Obviously, there's one that's very intriguing, but Oñate smashes Cibola in the opening round. Hobbs comes up to Cleveland, wins in 2.
Wow.
Force of 3. Cleveland had a couple opportunities, but Hobbs controlled that series. Volcano Vista, no problems with Rio Grande. And then obviously Sandia is the biggest upset, the 13 seed over Carlsbad into the next round. Sets up that Sandia-Volcano Vista matchup. I'm guessing Tanner West is going to be pitching. I don't know, though. Maybe not. Maybe Volcano Vista saves him. That's the question.
Yeah, but, okay, so last week when we were talking about this Carlsbad Sandia, we mentioned Baca, Dominic Baca, Gillespie, Gallegos. Those guys playing lights out as a way for Sandia. So you have bats.
Right.
So I don't know if you want to waste. You can't just say we're going to get past Sandia, who's been playing
I think
well.
that Oñate-Hobbs matchup also is a great matchup, the 9-1 seed.
If you're Hobbs, you're confident.
Let's move on to the bottom of the bracket then, and let's look at La Cueva beats Valley. Struggled, though. Beat them in 2, but struggled. El Dorado, you saw the highlights, beats Deming in 3. That sets up a Nate Garley matchup. Maybe McAllister. Is Stroman going to pitch for La Cueva? I don't know.
La
It's
Cueva
curious.
is so deep in the stable, man, that they can throw anyone out there right now.
Mayfield upsets Clovis. Now, minor upset at that, but they do it in Game 3, and so they're going to take on Rio Rancho, who defeats Las Cruces in 2, and that begs the question of the bottom of the bracket that I'm trying to ask Charles is Wyatt Kelly. Is Wyatt Kelly going to pitch that first game in the quarterfinals? Are you going to potentially save him for the semis? We've heard all kinds of coaches, all kinds of analysts say it in as many different ways as you could say it. No, you always pitch your best. Nope, you try to save him. I don't know. I think they hold off Wyatt Kelly. I don't know.
I think they're going to put him in long enough. If they can get some runs scored, get a little cushion, I can see him playing a couple innings and then taking them out. But you're right. There's no easy formula because you know you're going to see one of those powerhouses in El Dorado or La Cueva. So you can't look too far ahead, but you still have to be aware of the next round, I still think. And I know for a fact Murphy's going to be out this game too. So, you know.
Right, so Murphy gets ejected, and that's what he does. Yeah. Right? He gets his team fired up in different ways. Ron Murphy's my guy, so props to him. Listen, Rio Rancho, are they going to pitch Wyatt Kelly? I don't know. But that game, El Dorado and La Cueva, 10 a.m. You can catch everything through ProView Networks on the NFHS Network, all the championships this week. It's going to be a lot of good stuff.
Nate Garley going to be up there throwing that nasty.
He's throwing, man. El Dorado, I got El Dorado.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Which is crazy. So.
Come on back. We'll recap the NBA playoffs for you. uSportsCentral.